evening, St. Lucia. This is Open Mic, and we're here today with you with two extremely important individuals who can provide a ton of knowledge to St. Lucia through the manufacturing sector. I'm indeed exceptionally pleased to have two such individuals with me today, because this is going to be an extremely exciting program which I myself am looking forward to in many ways. On my right is Mrs. Paula Calderon, the Managing Director of Caribbean Awning and the past President of the Manufacturers Association. On my left is Mr. Urban Wilson, an extremely hard-working individual, in my view, who has been very successful, who has been the past Vice President of the Manufacturer. So what better people can I have on my program today? I am indeed so pleased to have those two individuals here with me. I'm first going to start off with Paula, and I have a couple questions for her. Paula, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You have been one of the most resilient and focused individuals in the field of light manufacturing. Your concerns have been well documented. On that score, I ask you to give me a synopsis of your challenges and your successes for the number of years that you've been in that field and where we are today.
Okay, as a Managing Director of Caribbean Awning, we provide products for shade, shelter, and security. And all of those areas mean that we are Go Green products, which means that we are reducing the risk of cancer because we are shading your house, so you can sit out in the veranda but still enjoy the evening. We are securing you from the burglars and the hurricanes, burglars and the hurricanes. So our products are very innovative. We took a long time to educate the public about these products because they were new at the time we brought them out. And in some cases, some people still don't know the differentiation between the different various products. We've also now introduced new products which are new and creative. It deals with PVC for ceilings, which are termite resistant. And we're doing aluminum railings, which is required in a country like this. And we also export to the OECS islands. The difficulties have primarily been with the lack of skilled labor, generally, for the not just mine, but for the manufacturing sector. And also the ability we've spent a lot of money on training. So as a result of the lack of skilled labor, we have to train. Being able to export, that means having the proper shipping system. That's been a major problem for probably 30 years now, and we still haven't mastered that system. And dealing with customs and trade barriers and not having to have one focused area where we can solve all our problems. But that has been changing, and more recently we've had a lot of changes that has been making business a lot better.
Yeah. Since those changes have taken place, and because of the number of years you've been in the business and the expertise you've acquired, where are you today? Are you at a stage where you are relatively comfortable with your business, that it's a business can in fact maintain the workforce that you have in place, in addition put some money aside for expansion?
That's a difficult question, but there's an answer to that. Since the downturn in the economy in 2009, I think most manufacturing people have seen a decline in their exports, have seen a decline in the foreign exchange that they bring in, and has seen a decline in their sales. That continuous recession has not allowed for us to put that funding aside to be able to expand. So we have had to go to the banks and try and obtain larger loans in order to do that expansion, because we have to be in the era that we are. We have to move forward with the technology. In a lot of cases, we are obsolete. We have staff that are obsolete because they are not trained in computerization. They're not trained in the maintenance of the technology and equipment that we're supposed to bring into St. Lucia. So at this point in time, I cannot change my technology in terms of the equipment, that the computerized
Question for you,
equipment.
Paula. You mentioned about going to the bank. Now, we all know the banking situation has been a very difficult one. How have you coped with that?
Well, I have a very good relationship with First National Bank, which is my bank. And they have worked very closely with me over the years. And what I have done is that I've always told them what I'm doing. For every year, what I am doing, they know what my sales are. I inform them of every single thing that I'm doing. And because of that relationship and because they know what I'm doing in terms of every aspect of it, we have a good relationship, so they're able to see that they can lend me money or they can do work with me. And this is what a lot of companies fail to do. They do not give them statistics, they do not give them information, the bank's information, the kind of information. They do not keep the kind of information, statistics, especially the smaller companies. But that is actually required for us to get a loan. People are not just going to give a loan on, you know, even just a name anymore. It doesn't work that way.
You mentioned earlier on the challenges that you had with the customs and so forth. How long have you been in that business now?
About 15 years.
15,
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
After 15 years and you have successive governments coming, one would have thought that they would understand the situation today. Do you feel anybody at, say, the Ministry of Commerce or the powers that be understand your predicament, where you are and where we would like to go, to hold your hand and make sure that you are giving employment to people and you are bringing in a level of some foreign exchange to the country by your exports? And also, if you are able to produce stuff locally, you can avoid us spending our foreign dollars to buy goods and bring them in. True enough, you have some raw material, but if you can put the labor input, it does help. Do they understand that?
I think they understand that, but overall, generally, over the years, I think the governments, not just one government, has not seen manufacturing as the as very important. Singapore, many years ago, looked at tourism, and then after a while they realized actually small manufacturing and small businesses are probably the best way, and they've moved in that direction. Things have changed, and over the last few years, things have changed, and over the last few months, things have changed. So for instance, Customs with the new comptroller, I must say, has done a lot very quickly to make the changes as far as trade is concerned and make changes to make our life easier to import and export. And what they have to do now is change the whole attitude of the customs officers and make them realize that we need to be proactive and positive, because this is what's making St. Lucia successful. And I think that will come, because with the new comptroller, I think we've had some changes that it's unbelievable that this has happened, which means that it takes somebody to make a decision and move quickly. What takes so long? And that's what happens. It takes too long for decisions to be taken and for action and things to be implemented. The Ministry of Commerce has been we have been working with them, meeting with them regularly, and we have seen some changes, because now the trade facilitation is working very much faster than it was. We are now able to go online and put in all our information, not just through Asecuda, but they are now coordinating the Ministry of Agriculture. Hopefully the Ministry of Health will come in, and the Ministry of Commerce. So you no longer have to walk to 3 different buildings to pick up a document here to pay this and so forth. Yeah. You know, just paying by credit card to government, and that's, you know, being worked on, but it hasn't worked fast enough. Mm-hmm. Again, you have to work with the banking system to do that. We are way below the rest of the world, and we need to catch up as quickly as possible so that we can work more efficiently within our own businesses.
Especially as our purchasing power is still small, you need that added. But I want to tell you, Paul, I came into your factory about 2-3 months ago, and I was really amazed at the level of cleanliness and should I say, the attitude of your staff. It was wonderful. Your products are very good. And I also want to compliment you on what you have done on the new setup that you have for the roofing, versus, say, putting in sheetrock or T111, because of all the termite situation that's in. So it's really a plus, and I've seen it at a few homes. I want to commend you. This is Open Mic. This is the first segment of our program. We'll be right back.